Hello everyone, I'm Dr. Joe. Today I want to talk about how healthy eating habits can help us manage modern diseases like diabetes, high blood pressure, high cholesterol, and obesity, metabolic condition that affect so many of us. More importantly, adopting the right diet can slow aging and help us live with vitality. There are many dietary approaches we can choose from. Reducing processed foods and food additives is key. Low carb, high fat diets are great, as is a whole grain plant based diet. They're all healthy options in my view, but it's not just what we eat that matters, it's how and when we eat. That's why I've always emphasized intermittent fasting. Today, we're going to dive into what happens in your body hour by hour when you practice intermittent fasting. This is based on the work of Dr. Jason Fung, author of The Diabetes Code. Dr. Fung has written several books, but I highly recommend The Diabetes Code and The Obesity Code. When I first read The Obesity Code, I was blown away. These are powerful reads, and I encourage you to check them out. To understand the changes during fasting, we first need to grasp how our body produces, uses, and stores energy. Let's break it down simply. To survive, our body needs energy, which comes in the form of ATP. ATP production requires oxygen and glucose, which is why we breathe and eat. We all know oxygen comes from breathing, but where do we get glucose from our food? Our body uses two main fuels: glucose, which comes from carbohydrates, and fat, specifically triglycerides, the same fat that show up in cholesterol tests and can surprise us when levels are high. These triglycerides are stored in fat cells, what we commonly call body fat. Think belly fat, thigh fat, or arm fat. Most cells in our body can use either glucose or triglycerides as fuel, with one exception, the brain. The brain can't directly use triglycerides, but other organs like the heart, liver, kidneys, and muscles can burn either fuel interchangeably. Our body also stores energy in two forms: glucose and fat. Glucose is stored in the liver as glycogen, which is essentially glucose molecules chained together, like candy packed in a box, ready to be used one by one. The body can easily link glucose molecules for storage or break them down for energy, sending glucose through the bloodstream. When glycogen stores run low, say after using up what's in the liver, the body turns to triglycerides for fuel. However, triglycerides are harder to use. They're transported from fat cells to the liver, where they're broken down into three fatty acids and glycerol. Glycerol can be used directly as fuel by most cells or converted into glucose, which the brain can then use. This is the basic mechanism of how our body uses and stores energy, even when food is scarce. With that in mind, let's explore the 5 stages of what happens in your body during intermittent fasting, as outlined by Harvard Medical School's Stage 1, Digestion and Absorption, 0 to 4 hours after eating. Right after a meal, for the first 4 hours, your blood is rich with glucose. Whether you eat carbs, fats, or proteins, if glucose is abundant, your body prioritizes it as its main energy source, sidelining fats and proteins. If you consume more carbs or proteins than you need, the excess is stored for later. Glucose is stored as glycogen in the liver, while fats are stored as triglycerides in fat cells. Yes, that's your belly fat. This storage process happens during these first 4 hours. Stage 2, post-absorption, 4 to 16 hours after eating. After 4 hours, the glucose from your meal is used up or stored. This is the stage intermittent fasters are familiar with, the 16-hour fasting window. You might wonder, did I really burn all that glucose in just 4 hours? even if I was just lying on the couch watching TV, it's not that it's all burned. It's that the body has finished absorbing and storing it. Now, when energy is needed, the body taps into the liver's glycogen stores. The liver can hold about 12 to 24 hours worth of glycogen, depending on what you ate. If you follow a low-carb, high-fat diet, there's less glucose to store, so glycogen runs out faster. But don't worry, your body can use ketones, derived from fat, as an alternative fuel. At this stage, with less glucose in the blood, insulin levels drop. Insulin has less work to do, so it's like it's clocking out for the day. Most modern diseases, diabetes, high blood pressure, high cholesterol, thyroid issues, PCOS, or endometriosis, are linked to insulin resistance, often caused by chronically high insulin levels. Spending time in stage 2 helps your body reset. Healthy people naturally experience this stage, but those with metabolic issues need it even more. Constant snacking, breakfast, sugary coffee at a meeting, lunch, another coffee in the afternoon, dinner, and late night drinks keeps you stuck in stage 1. Insulin stays high, cells become resistant, and this leads to high cholesterol, belly fat, diabetes, and metabolic syndrome. When doctors check your blood and prescribe meds for high sugar or cholesterol, they should also ask about your eating habits. During stage 2, insulin also helps the kidneys flush out excess salt and water, reducing bloating, belly fat, and blood pressure. Understanding insulin is key if you're dealing with diabetes, hypertension, or weight gain. Stage 3. Gluconeogenesis 16 to 30 hours after eating. After 16 hours, the liver's glycogen is depleted, and the body enters gluconeogenesis, where it makes glucose from proteins. This is a transitional phase, not yet fully relying on fat for energy. You might worry, is this breaking down my muscles? Muscle preservation is crucial, especially as we age. But don't panic. The body engages in autophagy, a process where it eats old, damaged cells, not healthy ones. In 2016, Japanese biologist Yoshinori Osumi won the Nobel Prize for his work on autophagy. It's like intracellular recycling, clearing out worn-out cells to keep your body youthful. Leaving these old cells around can age nearby cells faster, so autophagy helps maintain vitality. Yes, some protein is broken down, but most people consume 20 to 40% more protein than needed, so this isn't a major concern. It's not just muscle, skin is protein too. When you lose weight, loose skin can be an issue, but autophagy helps regenerate it. Like a postpartum belly tightening over time, the body can recover, though age and the amount of weight lost play a role. Younger people recover better, but autophagy during fasting past 16 hours helps prevent visible aging. While genetics influence youthful looks, fasting to reach stage 3 is critical for anti-aging benefits. That's why timing your meals is as important as what you eat. A 16-hour fast, including sleep, isn't as daunting as it sounds, but skipping breakfast or coffee can feel tough. Can you have coffee during a fast? It depends on your goal. For weight loss, a little coffee might be fine, but for anti-aging, stick to water to fully reach stage 3. Stage 4. Ketosis. 24 hours to 1 week after eating. After 24 hours, you enter ketosis, the holy grail for low-carb, high-fat dieters. Glycogen is gone, glycerol is depleted, and gluconeogenesis can't supply enough glucose. Instead of shutting down, your body starts producing ketones from fat. Cool name, right? Ketone energy sounds cutting edge compared to glucose energy. Low carb diets aim for this state by minimizing carbs and maximizing fats, though it may take longer than fasting. Ketones are special because they can cross the blood brain barrier, fueling the brain, which can't use triglycerides directly. So the myth that your brain needs carbs to function is false. Ketones can provide up to 70% of the brain's energy. Some scientists even argue ketones are a more efficient fuel for the brain. People on keto diets often report better focus, memory, and even relief from depression or anxiety. Hospitals use keto diet to treat epilepsy, proving its legitimacy. Stage 5. Protein conservation, 1 week and beyond. After a week of fasting, you enter protein conservation, essentially a starvation state. Your body relies almost entirely on fat for energy, and gluconeogenesis slows down. Surprisingly, hunger fades at this stage. Scientists aren't sure why, but hormones like ghrelin, which drive hunger, drop. This is why monks or activists can fast for weeks. Hunger doesn't overwhelm them. Your body becomes a fat-burning machine, preserving protein and keeping you functional. In summary, don't sabotage your insulin system by eating too frequently. Give your body enough fasting time each day to clean your liver, blood vessels, and cells. I hope this breakdown of intermittent fasting and low-carb, high-fat diets has been helpful. Thank you for watching, and let's take control of our health together.